Good day everyone. Today I'm going to share to you what are the history of the Philippines and its attraction. Philippines, island country of Southeast Asia and the Western Pacific Ocean. It is an archipelago consisting of more than 7,000 islands and islets lying about 500 miles or 800 kilometers off the coast of Vietnam. Manila is the capital, but nearby Quezon City is the country's most populous city. Both are part of the National Capital Region located on Luzon, the largest island. The second largest island of the Philippines is Mindanao in the southeast. The Philippines takes its name from Philip II, who was the king of Spain during the Spanish colonization of the island in the 16th century. Because it was under Spanish rule for 333 years and under U.S. tutelage for further 48 years, the Philippines has many cultural affinities with the West. It is, for example, the second of most populous Asian country with English as an official language and one of only two predominantly Roman Catholic countries in Asia. Despite the prominence of such Anglo-European cultural characteristics, the people of the Philippines are Asian in consciousness and aspirations. The country was rocked by political turmoil in the last quarter of the 20th century after enduring more than a decade of authoritarian rule under President Ferdinand Marcos. The broadly popular People Power movement in 1986 led a bloodless uprising against the regime. The confrontation resulted not only in the ouster on exile of Marcos but also in restoration of democratic government to the Philippines. Contemporary Filipinos continue to grapple with a society that is replete with paradoxes, perhaps the most obvious being the presence of extreme wealth alongside tremendous poverty. Rich in resources, the Philippines has the potential to build a strong industrial economy, but country remains largely agricultural, especially towards the end of 20th century. Rapid industrial expansions was spurred by a high degree of domestic and foreign investment. The growth, however, simultaneously contributed to severe degradation of the environment. The Philippines also emerged as a regional leader in education during the late 20th century, with a well-established public schools and university system, and by early 21st century, the country had one of the highest literacy rates in Asia. Philippines is the only country in Southeast Asia that was subjected to Western colonization before it had the opportunity to develop either centralized government ruling over a large territory or a dominant culture. In ancient times, the inhabitants of the Philippines were a diverse agglomeration of these people arrived in various waves of emigration from Asian mainland and who maintained little contact with each other. Contact with Chinese traders was recorded in 982, and some cultural influences from Southeast Asia, such as a Sanskrit-based writing base, were carried to the island by the Indonesian empires of Srivijaya on 7th and 30th century in Majapahit and 30th to 16th century. But in comparison with other parts of region, the influence of both China and India on the Philippines was of little importance. The peoples of the Philippines archipelago, like most of the other peoples of Southeast Asia, never adopted Hinduism and Buddhism. Pre-Spanish history. According to what can be inferred from somewhat later accounts, the Filipinos of the 15th century must have engaged primarily in shifting, cultivation, hunting, and fishing. Sedentary cultivation was the exception. Only in the mountains of northern Luzon, where elaborate rice terraces were built some 2,000 years ago, were livelihood and social organization linked to a fixed territory. The lowland peoples live in extended kinship groups known as barangays, each under the leadership of a datu or chieftain. The barangay, which ordinarily numbered no more than a few hundred individuals, was usually a larger, stable economic and political unit. Within the barangay, the status system, though not rigid, appear to have consisted of three broad classes: the dato and his family, and the nobility, freeholders, and dependents. The third category consisted of three levels: sharecroppers, depots, and war captives. The last two levels being termed slaves by Spanish observers. The slave status was inherited but through manumissions and interclass marriage, seldom extended over more than two generations. The fluidity of social system was in a part of consequence of a bilateral kinship system in which lineage was reckoned equally through the male and female lines. Marriage was apparently stable, to divorce was socially acceptable under certain circumstances. Early Filipinos renewed various local religions, a mixture of monotheism and polytheism in which the latter dominated. The propitiation of spirits required numerous rituals, but there was no obvious religious hierarchy in religion as in social structures and economic activity. There was considerable variation between and even within island. This pattern began to change in the 15th century. However, when Islam was introduced to Mindanao and the Sulu archipelago through Bunay on the island of Borneo, along with changes in religious belief and practices came new political and social instructions. By the mid-16th century, two sultanates had been established, bringing under their sway a number of barangays. A powerful datu as far of north as Manila embraced Islam. It was the midst of wave of Islamic politism that the Spanish arrived. Had the Spanish come to the century later, or had their motives been strictly commercial, Filipinos today might be a predominantly Muslim people. The Spanish period. Spanish colonial motives were not, however, strictly commercial. The Spanish at first viewed the Philippines as stepping stone to the riches of the East Indies. But even after the Portuguese and Dutch had foreclosed that possibility, the Spanish still maintained their presence in the archipelago. The Portuguese navigator and explorer Ferdinand Magellan headed the first Spanish foray to the Philippines when he made landfall in Cebu on March 1521. A short time later, he met an untimely death on the nearby island of Mactan after the King Philip II, whom the island are named, had dispatched three further expeditions that ended in disaster. He sent out Miguel Lopez de Legazpi, who established the first permanent Spanish settlement in Cebu in 1565. The Spanish city of Manila was founded in 1571, and by the end of the 16th century, most of the coastal and lowland areas from Luzon to northern Mindanao were under Spanish control. Friars marched with soldiers and soon accomplished the nominal conversion to Roman Catholicism of all local people under Spanish administration. But Muslims of Mindanao and Sulu, whom the Spanish called Moros, were never completely subdued by Spain. In September 1972, Marcos declared martial law, claiming that it was the last defense against the rising disorder caused the increasingly violent student demonstration. The Allied Trades Communist insurgency by the new Communist Party of the Philippines and the Muslim separatists movement of the National Liberation Front One of the first action was to arrest opposition politicians in Congress and the Constitutional Convention. Initial public reactions to martial law was mostly favorable except in Muslim areas of the South, where a separatist rebellion led by the MNLF broke out in 1973. Despite half-hearted attempts to negotiate a ceasefire, the rebellion continued to claim thousands of military and civilian casualties. Communist urgency expanded with the creation of the National Democratic, an organization embracing the CPP and other communist groups. Under martial law, the regime was able to reduce violent urban crime, collect unregistered firearms, and suppress communist insurgency in some areas. At the same time, a series of important new concessions were given to forgive to the foreign investors, including a prohibition on strikes by organized labor and a land where reform program was launched in January 1973. Marcos proclaimed the ratification of a new constitution based on parliamentary system with himself as both president and prime minister, and not what however convinced an interim legislature that was called for in that document. Elections for an interim National Assembly were finally held in 1978, the opposition of which the primary group was led by the jailed former Senator Benigno S. Aquino Jr., produced such a bold and popular campaign that the official result, which gave Marcos' opposition virtually no seats, were widely believed to have been illegally altered. In 1980, Aquino was allowed to go into exile in the United States, and the following year, after announcing the suspension of martial law, Marcos won a virtually uncontested election for a new 6-year term. First tourist attraction is the Puerto Princesa Underground River. It's a new 7 wonders of nature holding and included in the list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. It's a consistent pleasure and many travelers' bucket list too. The 2.8-kilometer long Puerto Princesa Underground River is known for its cave formations, stunning limestone cliffs, and pristine water. Here, you'll fish in the ice and stunning sights while cruising on a paddle boat. Once you reach the caves, you'll be in the company of stalactites, stalagmites, birds, bats, and fish that is inhabit an underground river's ecosystem. Explore this jaw-dropping, breathtaking beauty by joining Puerto Princesa Underground Tour. Book your in advance because this sought-after tourist spot in Palawan has a long line of eager visitors to witness its beauty. It's also highly recommended to schedule your trip during the dry season and consistently check weather updates from time to time. Next is Banaue Rice Terraces. The Batad-Banaue Rice Terraces in Ifugao Cordillera region is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the tourist attractions in Luzon, Philippines that represent a challenging hike up a 1,500-meter high attraction. The man-made stair-like rice paddy follows the slopes of the mountainside, showcasing the intricate irrigation system that is still used today. After an hour-long hike up to the village of Batad, you'll be greeted with a panoramic views of pristine unsoiled forestry. Taal Volcano. Taal Volcano in Tagaytay features stunning views from the viewing point. It's an easy hike that even kids can do, and as the second most active volcano in the Philippines, Taal Volcano is one of the most popular tourist spots in Luzon, Philippines, and a must-visit destination for everyone who loves volcanoes and lakes. Next is Pagudpud Beach. With Pagudpud's untouched white sand beaches, awe-inspiring sunsets, and captivating natural attractions like caves, and rock formations, it's no wonder why it's dubbed the Boracay of the North. There you can escape the hustle and bustle of the city and immerse yourself in a serene atmosphere which is perfect for taking pictures, relaxing, and exploring. Palawan Beach. Explore Palawan, a stunning island in the Philippines with crystal clear waters, lush jungles, and breathtaking beaches. Visit the popular tourist spots in El Nido, Coron, and Puerto Princesa, each offering unique experiences from overwater scenery to diving paradises. Don't miss the Bataha Reefs Natural Parks, Kalawit Safari Parks, and Nagkalit-Kalit Waterfalls for more amazing adventures. Next is Boracay Island in Aklan. You can plan a trip to Visayas without going to the province of Aklan. It has a beautiful beaches with white sand and extraordinary sunset that can't be found anywhere else in the Visayas. One of the main reasons why Boracay is such a popular tourist spot in Visayas is because of the stunning beaches. The most famous of this is White Beach, which stretches more than 4 kilometers and is lined with palm trees, beachfront of restaurants and hotels. The sun is powdery and white, and the water is crystal clear and perfect for swimming, snorkeling, and other water sports. Bohol is a province located in Visayas region of the Philippines. It is known for its natural attractions such as Chocolate Hills, a series of more than 1,200 small hills named for their brown color during the dry season. The hills are a popular tourist destination and also belong to the top Visayas tourist spots and are considered of one of the natural wonders of the Philippines. Next is Bantayan Island. Bantayan Island is located in the Visayas region of the Philippines and is known for its white sandy beach, crystal clear waters, and picturesque landscape. It is a popular tourist destination in Cebu because of its peaceful and laid-back atmosphere and the abundance of activity and attractions available to visitors. One of the main attractions on Bantayan Island is its beautiful beaches such as Sugar Beach and Paradise Beach, which are famous for swimming, sunbathing, and other water sports. The island is also home to several historical and cultural sites, including Bantayan Church, which dates back to the 17th century, and Ogtong Cave, a natural underground pool. Next is the ruins. Also known as the Yakama Mariano House or Don Mariano Ledesma Lacson and Central House, is a historic mansion in Bacolod City, Negros Occidental, Philippines. It was built in the early 20th century by Don Mariano Ledesma Lacson, a wealthy sugar planter, as a summer home for his family. The ruins in Bacolod City has become a popular tourist spot in Visayas region of the Philippines due to its historical and cultural significance. As a grand mansion that was built in early 20th century by a wealthy sugar planter, it represents a significant period in history of Bacolod and the surrounding region. Its neoclassical design and opulent interiors, which were destroyed during World War II, also make it an interesting and unique attraction in Visayas area for visitors. The ruin serves as a popular cultural and historical site of Bacolod City and is known for its beautiful gardens and stunning views of the surrounding countryside. Isla Gigantes is a group of islands that are right off coast of the towns of Estancia and Carles in the northeast of Iloilo. It is one of the best Iloilo tourist spots because it has many natural things to see. There are beautiful lagoons, rock formations, caves, and white sand beaches on the island of Gigantes. The name of this group of islands means land of the giants. This is because on this island, big humans' bones were found. People at the time thought that these skeletons were from giants. Next is Tinago Falls is located in Iligan City, Llano del Norte, and is known for its stunning turquoise water and lush surroundings. The waterfall is hidden in the deep ravine accessible by descending a 500 steep staircase. Visitors can swim in the cold crystal clear waters of the plunge pools, take photos, and enjoy the serene atmosphere. The areas surrounding the falls offer picnic spots, cottages, and few food stalls. Mount Apo, located between Davao City and Davao del Sur, is the highest mountain in the Philippines, standing at 2,954 meters or 9,692 feet above sea level. The mountain is an active volcano and is home to a diverse range of flora and fauna, including endemic species. Mount Apo is popular destination for trekking and hiking, offering trails and varying difficulty levels. The trek to the summit typically takes 2 to 3 days, rewarding hikers with breathtaking views of the surrounding landscape. Next is Enchanted River. It's located in Natuan, Surigao del Sur and is known for its deep blue water and mysterious underwater cave system. The river is fed by natural springs and boats a depth of up to 80 feet. Visitors can swim in the cool and clear waters of the Enchanted River and explore the underwater world through snorkeling. The river is home to a variety of fish species, making it a fascinating spot for aquatic life and waste. Maria Cristina Falls, located in Iligan City, is a pair of majestic waterfalls that cascade down from a height of 320 feet. The falls are formed by the Agus River, which is the outflow of Lake Lanao. The falls are the sites of the Maria Cristina hydroelectric power plant, which harnesses the water's energy to generate electricity for the region. Visitors can learn about the power plant's history and significance to the local economy. Tinoyan Falls, located in Bislig City, Surigao del Sur, is known as the Niagara Falls of the Philippines due to its impressive width of 95 meters or 312 feet. The falls consist of a series of cascades that create a picturesque multi-tiered spectacles. Visitors can take a bamboo raft ride to get closer to the falls, swim in the cool waters, and explore the surrounding natural trails. The area also offers picnic spots, cottages, and a viewing deck of a panoramic view of the falls. And it's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching.